In a quiet village surrounded by a dense forest, there lived a young bachelor named Ali. He was known for his humor and light-hearted attitude, often making jokes even in the most serious situations. One evening, as the sky blushed with the colors of twilight, Ali decided to take a shortcut home through the forest. Though the villagers often spoke of strange happenings and eerie figures lurking in the woods, Ali brushed off such tales as old wives' stories meant to scare children. As he walked along the narrow path, the world around him grew quieter. The chirping of birds faded, replaced by an almost oppressive silence. Then, out of nowhere, he heard it, a faint whisper carried by the breeze. It wasn't clear, but it sounded like someone, or something, was calling his name. Ali stopped in his tracks, his heart racing. "Who's there?" he called out, trying to sound braver than he felt. A chilling voice responded, soft and eerie, "I am a witch." Most people would have run, but Ali's sense of humor often outweighed his sense of caution. With a smirk, he called back, "If you're a witch, why don't you come and embrace me?" The forest fell silent for a moment, and then the voice returned, laughing, a sound that was both chilling and strangely melodic. "Be careful what you wish for," it said. Ali shrugged off the encounter, assuming his tired mind was playing tricks on him. He quickened his pace, eager to leave the forest behind, but the incident lingered in his thoughts. That night, as he lay in bed, his dreams were restless and vivid. He saw a shadowy figure standing at the edge of the forest, her hand outstretched, beckoning him forward. The voice from earlier echoed in his mind, repeating the words, "Come find me, if you dare." The next morning, Ali awoke feeling a strange mixture of fear and curiosity. The dream had felt so real, and the image of the shadowy figure haunted him throughout the day. By evening, his curiosity got the better of him. "It's just a forest," he muttered to himself. "If there really is a witch, let's see what she wants." With a lantern in hand, he made his way back to the woods. As he stepped onto the forest path, the air seemed to grow colder. The trees loomed taller, their branches twisting together like claws. Ali pressed on, determined to prove to himself that there was nothing to fear. As he ventured deeper, the whispers returned, growing louder with each step. They seemed to guide him, leading him off the main path and into a part of the forest he had never seen before. Finally, he emerged into a small clearing bathed in an eerie, pale light. In the center stood a figure cloaked in mist, a woman with piercing eyes that glowed faintly in the darkness. "You asked for me," she said, her voice calm and measured. Ali swallowed hard, his bravado faltering for a moment. "Well," he said, forcing a smile, "I didn't expect you'd actually show up. So, are you here to give me that hug?" The woman smirked, her expression unreadable. "You're either brave or foolish," she replied. "But if you truly want to embrace me, you'll have to prove yourself worthy." Intrigued, Ali asked, "And how do I do that?" The woman introduced herself as Zareen and revealed that she was not just any witch, she was bound to the forest by a powerful curse. For centuries, she had waited for someone with courage and a pure heart to break the spell. She explained that Ali would need to complete 3 challenges to prove his worth. The first challenge was to solve the riddle of the moonlit lake. Zareen led him to a shimmering body of water, its surface reflecting the full moon like a mirror. In the center of the lake, a small island held a single tree with golden fruit. To pass this challenge, Zareen said, "You must figure out how to reach the island without disturbing the water." Ali scratched his head, staring at the lake. After several failed attempts, he noticed a pattern in the way the moonlight illuminated certain rocks just beneath the surface. Using the rocks as stepping stones, he made his way to the island and plucked a golden fruit. When he returned, Zareen nodded approvingly. The second challenge was to find a hidden key within a labyrinth of thorns. The maze was dark and treacherous, with walls that seemed to close in around him. At one point, he encountered a mischievous crow perched on a branch, clutching the key in its beak. Ali tried to grab it, but the bird flew just out of reach, cawing mockingly. Frustrated, Ali remembered an old trick he'd learned as a child. He placed a shiny coin on the ground and stepped back. The curious crow dropped the key to investigate the coin, allowing Ali to snatch it up. For the final challenge, Zareen told Ali he would have to face his greatest fear. She led him to a clearing where a thick fog obscured everything beyond a few feet. As the fog swirled around him, Ali began to hear familiar voices, his family, his friends, all accusing him of failure and cowardice. Shadows loomed closer, taking on terrifying shapes. At first, Ali froze, overwhelmed by doubt and fear. But then he remembered Zareen's words. The challenges were meant to test his courage. Taking a deep breath, he shouted, "You're not real. I'm not afraid of you." The shadows dissolved, and the fog lifted, revealing Zareen standing before him. "You've passed," she said, her expression softening for the first time. She explained that the challenges were not just about bravery but about understanding oneself. Ali's humor and determination had seen him through. As a reward, Zareen revealed the truth behind her curse. She had once been a mortal woman, betrayed by someone she loved and cursed to remain in the forest. Ali's pure heart had broken part of the spell, allowing her to regain her human form for a single night. Grateful, Zareen asked Ali to stay with her in the forest and help her break the curse completely. Though tempted, Ali joked, "I'm not ready to settle down with a witch just yet. But who knows, maybe I'll visit again." Zareen laughed, a sound that was warm and full of life. As the first rays of dawn broke through the trees, she began to fade, leaving Ali alone in the clearing. He returned to the village with a story no one would believe but one he would never forget. And from that day on, whenever Ali passed the forest, he couldn't help but smile, wondering if the whispers in the trees were calling his name once again.